Hello GRE guys, and welcome to another episode of the GRE Catcher. We're starting a whole new series about the algebra chapter, the algebra chapter in the official GRE guide, and we will walk through all the questions in this chapter and see how to solve these questions. Okay, and so in the algebra chapter 4, the first question is saying x times x minus 2, and beneath this is x plus 3 multiplied by x minus 4 all raised to the power of 2. All of these is equal to 0. And here we will use a technique which I usually call the novelty of 0. Use a technique called the novelty of 0, and it's basically meaning that if you have a fraction consists of a over b and it's equal to 0, to make this possible, the a value should be 0. The a value should be equal to 0, but the b value, which is the under one with the denominator, cannot be equal to 0. And that's why we call this the novelty of 0, or the 0 novelty. The b cannot be 0, but the a can be a 0. The a should be a 0 and the b shouldn't be a 0. It can't be a 0. Okay, here we will examine quantity a, which is equal to x, and quantity b, which is equal to 2. And here is another tip I want to tell you here in the GRE questions. If you can't simplify the problem, and this problem, if you try it, you will not reach anything acceptable for simplification of x, try to plug in some numbers and try to solve it logically. Okay, so in this question, as I told you, this one cannot be 0, so it can be a whole bunch of numbers, except, for example, except here, except negative 3 and 4 here. Okay, so it cannot be these two values for this one, but it can be any of other values. So we will focus on this. I want this to be equal to 0. So how can I get x times x minus 2 to be equal to 0? Of course, anything multiplied by a 0 is 0. So x could be 0 if I am thinking about the first x, as it will be 0 times this bracket, so whole will be equal to 0. Or this bracket could be equal to 0, and when multiplied by the x, it will be also equal to 0. So how to make this bracket is equal to 0? I have here minus 2, so 2 minus 2 is equal to 0. So the other possibility is x is equal to 2. Okay, if you look at these, both of the possibilities, x is equal to 0 or x is equal to 2, is always greater than the quantity b, which is negative 2. So the answer here will be a. The quantity a is bigger than quantity b. And that's it for this question. Thank you.